Former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd has been moved to a new federal prison. Derek Chauvin has been transferred from the federal prison in Tucson to one in Oklahoma City. Back in November, Chauvin was stabbed 22 times by another inmate. He has since been released from the hospital, but a few days later, according to a post by Chauvin's mother, the move is temporary and it's not clear where he might end up permanently.
What up with it, y'all? It's Coffee. Back at it with an update. Hit the comments, man. Derek Chauvin survived that shanking 22 times, man. I was surprised that their story just kind of faded away, right? You guys remember it was an intriguing story. I mean, first off, fuck Derek Chauvin, man. I can't believe the amount of people advocating like that he's innocent or that he's gonna get his conviction overturned or he don't have a snowball's chance in hell. He's a murderer, he's a scumbag, he's a killer, he's a racist, he's a piece of garbage. And I'm not the type of person that has like a lot of faith in a lot of things turning out just, but I know in this situation, he ain't winning no appeals. He's rotting in prison forever, and that's just that. But getting back to, and that's the way it should be, but getting back to when he got shanked up, it was such a wild story, you know, as the main headline that was just getting picked up was Mexican mafia member shanked up Derek Chauvin and did it on Black Friday to symbolically, you know, rock with the Black Lives Matter movement and I guess like ease tensions in prison between black and brown inmates or black and brown population, or just show unity, like fuck this racist guy, you know, F the police. And that's, you know, the story that was being picked up as from my understanding on a larger scale and comment. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong or whatever, you know, as I always share with y'all, I'm no gangster. I'm a nerd. I'm a square. Always got to put that out there when the G-ish comes up, like prison politics or street-ish. You know what I'm saying? I always let y'all know I'm calling the police if you fuck with me with no qualms about it. I'm no gangster, you heard? But from my understanding, like the prison politics are that I believe right on the West Coast that black and brown inmates, I don't know if I want to say have beef, but don't click up, and like the whites click up with the Latinos or something. I'm not quite sure how it all goes, you know what I mean? But it was like, you know, when I seen it all happening, I was, from my understanding, again, those that have been to prison and know about this kind of stuff, like what the politics are. Obviously, I've heard on the West Coast, the politics are different than on the East Coast. This was in a federal prison, so I don't know if they rock on a different level. I'm not quite sure. But it seemed, you know, like a move that could like dead off a beef and whatnot. But the story, you know, obviously, I don't think we're necessarily going to hear of all the prison politics if what dude did bring unity in that sense. But and comment, everyone, your thoughts regarding all that, or if there was any reports or things that you saw that sounded official, or anyone, you know, that's been locked up that has a better knowledge of this or whatever. But the story was like even different than that. It was a guy that was down with the Mexican mafia that was actually a white dude. I believe, was he like Czech or something? I can't recall, but he was from Echo Park and ran with a Latino Mexican gang, I believe, when he was home back in the day, and had got hit with a long ass bid and didn't have that much time before he came home and shanked Chauvin up when he would have been going home. Instead, he ain't going home. Like, he straight up threw his freedom away, but he was an informant, a snitch. So like a lot of the narratives about the Mexican mafia thing, it was like, well, dude isn't in good standing, you know. Like, again, I don't know that much about the politics, but from what I heard about the Mexican mafia, if you's a rat, you're no good. I mean, if you're a rat, period, in prison, I believe you're no good. But when it comes to that gang, like, it's or gang, clique, car, whatever, like you're definitely no good. So the story wasn't as is exactly the way that it was put out there, like Mexican mafia member shanks up Derek Chauvin. It was more like a white dude who ran with the Mexican mafia, which, as we've seen before, like you can be from a different background and run with a different clique and be, you know, held as official or whatever, from my understanding. But dude was like a PC snitch, so he couldn't have been down with the mob no more or whatever, you know what I mean? And it makes sense, being that Chauvin, a cop who is going to be in like a protective custody type setting, was able to get at him and shank him up. You feel me? Like that he would be in that same kind of prisoner setting because he's no good, because he's a snitch. Again, I believe he was Czech or something. I did a whole video on it. His name is John Tursak. Doesn't sound like a Latino name, but you know, he did what he did. I say good flux Chauvin. Too bad he didn't expire and pass away, you know. And dude actually told the police that he had been plotting. He confessed right on the spot that he had been plotting to do this. If they didn't get there sooner, he would have offed them. Like, that's what it was, you know. So he threw away his come home date to do that. And I mean, obviously he felt strong about getting at Derek Chauvin, but I also wonder, like, because he could have got at him and shanked him up, poked him up, and did it in a slick way to try to come home and see if he could get away with it, still not miss his date. He did it and confessed to it right on the spot. So it was like he wanted to get caught. He wanted to stay behind the wall. As I stated, he had did a long ass bid, was ready to come home. I forget the exact time frame, but it was a crazy story. At the end of the day, though, the story kind of faded away from the news. You feel me? What do y'all think? Was dude afraid to come home because he's a snitch, because the mob will get at him? And I'm surprised they haven't got at him in there, even though he's in PC. But it wasn't a lot of updates that came out after this, just the fact that Chauvin survived. There's a lot of people theorizing because dude had ratted before that he was like a federal informant. This is like some whole tinfoil conspiracy stuff that I'm saying right now, this part, that like the feds put him up to it, that the you know, the feds are trying to off Chauvin, which I don't know. I don't really buy that if that's what it was, right? The tinfoil hat ish when it comes to that. Like, there's a billion other ways that he could have bodied him. He's in federal custody, you know? But again, not a lot of coverage on the story. And here we hear today now that he's been transported temporarily to OKC, and they don't know where he'll be permanently housed. I don't think that'll be something that'll be shared. It'll probably be kept on the low, I believe. What do y'all think, man? And it's wild too to hear his mom is posting stuff on social media. I wonder how much she gets trolled. But comment with your thoughts about it all across the board. Flux Chauvin, do you guys think he'll get poked up somewhere else? And again, any sick, twisted in the head ass motherfucker that actually advocates for this guy, like, he ain't coming home. You're dumb. Shut up. Stop it. Forget about it.
Going to be thrown into a system where everybody gets health care.
Is bro trying to get VP Kamala elected? Everybody gets health care? Sign me up.
And then one other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, man. I always let y'all know I don't do the politics-ish so heavy. I've been paying attention a little something to this time around this election, as the back and forth drama has been crazy, and the way to see social network used in the way in which that it has been something else. Like, it's just been bonkers, man. You know, all the drama, the back and forth, and I don't know who will come out on top, who will win with the election. Share all your thoughts. But donlemon, man, people hate this dude, huh? Again, I don't follow all this ish like that, but I know he typically is in like the political realm of the news, you know, cycle and whatnot. But it seems like donlemon is like hated viciously. Comment if that is true. Comment all the reasons why, if you hate him, if you fuck with him. I'm intrigued to know. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit all them buttons, but more importantly, join the discussion. And, you know, it's all about having that good coffee talk in the comment thread on this channel as we talk it up on music, news, sports, and much more. But when it comes to this, you see Don Lemon is, you know, polling for Kamala Harris to win. And he's sharing this clip where Trump is talking about if Kamala Harris wins, everyone will have health insurance. And again, I'm not the super political guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just talking to y'all. I want to hear everyone's thoughts. Like, why is this always pushed out as a bad thing, universal health care? Like, I always hear people, you know, try to talk about how it don't work in Canada. I've always known, like, I got a lot of peoples over there in Canada, and they love it. I feel like there's a lot of false propaganda that's pushed out to ish on the Canadian healthcare system, personally. And there's a lot of places in Europe, to my understanding, where economically it works good, and of course, like, it works great where no one is uninsured. You know what I mean? But you hear Don Lemon say, sign me up, this is a good thing. I want to know who you think's going to win the election. Why is Don Lemon hated so much? And the healthcare, do you agree that it's a good thing as well? If you do, let me know and why. If not, let me know and why. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you again for watching. Subscribe, hit the buttons. Let's talk. It's Coffee signing out, y'all. Peace.